There was one story that my great-grandmother told me. It was a fine gravel ridge that they came to, and when they got there, they started finding all kinds of artifacts. My name is Louis Kamukak. I live in Joe Haven. I was born and raised here, and I'm known as a local historian. We lived in a tundra. We lived out on the land. And my great-grandmother and my grandmother and the elders would every night tell a story. We had no other means of entertaining other than oral history and legends and songs. There was one story that my great-grandmother told me. It was a fine gravel ridge that they came to, and when they got there, they started finding all kinds of artifacts, like stuff that they have never seen. And once they got to the ocean, they started finding some more artifacts on the beach. She said they noticed that there was a big chain going into the ocean. Her story was always in my mind, but I didn't have a clue till I started going to school. The teacher started teaching history, and he started talking about the Franklin expedition that took off in 1845. Most of the men were perished on the north part of Kingdom Island. That's when I started getting those two stories together, that my great-grandma's story and the teacher's story, and I got more curious. So through the years, when I got old enough to travel, I started reading more, and I started asking more questions to the elders about the oral history. I started trying to put the puzzle together and go out to the known sites that were either mentioned by the elders or mentioned in the journals of the people that came searching.
He knew where Inuit thought the boat was located, so when he became involved with Parks Canada in the search a few years ago, he basically directed them. He said, Inuit people say this is the area where the boat sank, and sure enough, they found the Erebus that first summer. So he's very instrumental in that find. The knowledge he has, he's probably the only person in the world who has recorded the Inuit oral history of the Central Arctic. He's just by nature a historian.
When I heard the news about one of the ships being found, I think it was kind of emotional for me to think about the elders that I've been interviewing. They have been right all along. And Inuit oral history was powerful, and it was the only way that everything was passed down through generations.